Okay, anybody tried this problem? Yesterday I have given you one program to convert packed BCD into ASCII numbers. Anybody have tried this? Yes, sir. Is my audio is audible? Everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you see the screen? What I am sharing?
Yes, sir.
So yesterday I have given you one program. Okay, that is the program which is displayed on the screen. Anybody have tried that? Okay. So let us see. Let us see that program. Okay. So the program is we need to write an assembly language program to convert packed BCD to two ASCII numbers. Everybody, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I want active participation in the class. So see here. Listen here. Okay. We need to write a program to convert packed BCD to two ASCII numbers. Now let us see what are these. There are two new terms. What you are seeing here in this question, there is a BCD and ASCII. Okay, BCD and ASCII. So what is a BCD number? First, let us see what is a BCD number. Okay, so any number, any hexadecimal number, whatever the number we want, we can take, but it should obey one rule. Suppose 68H is there. 68H is there. So the upper nibble and lower nibble, both should be less than 10. Upper nibble and lower nibble both should be less than 10. Means we can use numbers from 0 to 9 for the first digit and second digit. But we cannot use the hexadecimal numbers like A, B, C, D up to F. Means 0 to 9 we can use. Okay, we cannot use A, B, C, D. Okay, after 9, in order to represent 10, what we will do? We will use A. In order to represent 11, we will use B. So like that we cannot use in BCD number. Okay, we cannot use in BCD number. So BCD stands for binary coded decimal. Binary coded decimal means it indicates only decimal numbers, means 0 to 9. Okay, the first digit should be 0 to 9 and the second digit should also in between 0 to 9. Okay, so we cannot use A, B, C, D like that. Okay, so it is a BCD number. Is it okay, all of you? For first digit, we can use the digits from 0 to 9, and the second digit, in place of second digit, we can use the digits from 0 to 9. So it is a BCD number. Okay, so we can take any digits like some 0 to 02H, 02H, or some 35H. Okay, so we cannot use the numbers like 3AH. 3AH. Why? Because A is there here. So we cannot use. Means the numbers, the hexadecimals which are containing A, B, C, D up to F, we cannot use those numbers. So we can use the numbers which are ranging from 0 to 9 for first digit and second digit. So it is a BCD number. Now, what is packed BCD and unpacked BCD? What is packed BCD and unpacked BCD? Let us see. So if you take any BCD number, let us take 68H. If you take this 68H, So the initially the 68H will be packed BCD. Okay, initially any BCD will be in the form of packed. Okay, it is a packed BCD. Means it is having first digit and second digit, both are written side by side. Means it is a packed BCD. Unpacked BCD means we have to take 6 from this and we have to take 8 from this. Okay, 68 is having two digits, 6 and 8. Okay, 6 should be separated and 8 should be separated. Okay, from the 68, 6 should be separated and 8 should be separated. Okay, if we separate the two digits, then it is called as unpacked BCD. Unpacked BCD. Okay, so is it okay, Alohi, what is packed and unpacked? Packed means a normal number 68 is a packed. Okay, unpacked means if we remove 6 from this, okay, if we separate 6 from this and if we separate 8 from this, okay, 68 is having two unpacked BCDs, one is 6 and one is 8. If we unpack this 68, you will get the two unpacked BCDs, one is 6 and another one is 8. If we unpack this 35H, you will get the two unpacked BCDs, one is 3 and another one is 5. Okay, one is 3 and another one is 5. Is it okay, all of you?
Okay, sir.
Now, let us see what is ASCII numbers. What is ASCII numbers? ASCII numbers. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Now, what does this ASCII is? Which numbers it will indicate? Suppose there is one number 6. If we want to denote this 6 in ASCII number, okay, we are having one number 6. We want to denote this 6 in ASCII number. How to denote this 6 in ASCII number means just add 30 to this number. Just add 30 to this number. So in ASCII form, we'll write here ASCII in ASCII form. ASCII form, what will how the numbers will be means 0 means it is 30 in ASCII form. 0 means it is 30 and 1 means it is 31. 1 means it is 31 and 2 means it is 32. 2 means it is 32 and 3 means it is 33. 3 means it is 33. Like that. Means if we add 30 to the number, then the ASCII form of that number will be generated. Okay. Suppose 0 is there. If we add 30 to this 0, then the ASCII form of 0 will be generated. That is 30. 1 is there. If we add 30 to this number, 31 will be there. So like that, how many ASCII numbers are there? ASCII numbers are only 10. ASCII numbers are only 10. Means for 0 to 9, the decimal numbers 0 to 9 can be represented as ASCII in the form of ASCII as 30, 31, 32, 33 up to 39. Okay, up to 39. Okay, it is ASCII form. Means the ASCII form, can you tell what is the ASCII form of 6? What is the ASCII form of 6? Just add
36.
Yes, 36. What is the ASCII form of 8?
38.
38. What is the ASCII form of 9?
39.
39. What is the ASCII form of 10?
40.
3A.
No, for ASCII form will be from 0 to 9 only. For 10, there will be no ASCII form. ASCII numbers are given for 0 to 9 only. Okay. From 10, there will be no ASCII numbers. Means what we need to do? So one number will be given. Okay, one number will be given. That number is called as packed BCD. Let the number will be 68H. Listen carefully. I am telling the procedure how we are doing this program. So this program is very important program. So let us take one number 68H and assume this number as a which number? Packed BCD number. Okay, let us take one number 68H and let us assume this number as a packed BCD number. First, what we need to do is we need to unpack this BCD number. If we unpack this BCD number, what the values we will get? We will get the two values. One is 6 and one is 8. One is 6 and one is 8. Okay, the two unpacked BCD numbers are 6 and 8. Okay, the 68 is a packed BCD number. If we unpack this, the numbers we will get is 6 and 8. Okay, after unpacking this, we need to convert 6 in ASCII form, and we need to convert 8 in ASCII form. That's all. It is only the problem. So how to convert 6 in ASCII form? Just add 30 to this, so it will become 36. The ASCII number of 6 is 36, and the ASCII number of 8 is 38. Just add 6 to this. Just add 30 to this 6, and just add 30 to this 8. Okay, simply we need to add 30 to these two numbers, 6 and 8. Okay, if we add 30 to 6, it will become 36. And if we add 30 to 8, it will become 38. Okay, so ASCII number of 6 is 36 and the ASCII number of 8 is 38. Okay, this is what we need. Okay, so we need to write a program to convert packed BCD to two ASCII numbers. So why he has given two ASCII numbers? Because first the BCD should be unpacked and it should be splitted into two numbers. Okay, if we unpack this packed BCD number, if we unpack this packed BCD number, this one 68H, what will happen? We will get the two numbers 6 and 8. 6 and 8. From these two numbers, we can get the two ASCII numbers. That's why in the question he has given, write a program to convert packed BCD to two ASCII numbers. Okay, so you may be getting the doubt that how we can convert one number into two ASCII numbers. Okay, so the answer for this is we need to unpack the BCD numbers. Okay, the initially whatever the number will be there, we need to split that number into two digits, into two numbers. Okay, 68 is split into 6 and 8. Okay, if we take 35, it will be split into 3 and 5, like that. So means the splitting of these numbers is called as unpacking of BCD number. Okay, so from this unpacking, from this splitting, so we'll get the two numbers. Okay, for the two numbers there are from the two numbers we'll get two ASCII numbers. Okay, from the two BCD numbers we can get the two ASCII numbers. So the ASCII number of 6 is 36 and the ASCII number of 8 is 38. So this is our program. Now how to write the steps? First of all, have you understood this? What we need to do in the program? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How we need to convert packed BCD into ASCII numbers, into two ASCII numbers? Everybody understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us see the program. In the program, how we are writing the steps. Okay. So in the program, how we are converting this packed BCD into two ASCII numbers? Let us see. So first, let us take the packed BCD number as 68H. Okay, let us take the packed BCD number as 68H. Here, I am selecting that. Packed BCD number I have taken as 68H. Let us take that. So see here. first the step is move A comma 68H. Okay, the packed BCD number 68H is moved into the A register. Now the value of A will be 68H. Next. So as the value of A will be continuously changing, what we are doing is we are copying the value of A in R1 register. So someone wants to admit now. Who is this? G Anusha. Okay. So 68H. So what we have taken, our packed BCD number is 68H. For this 68H, we need to split the packed BCD numbers into two unpacked BCD numbers, 6 and 8. So we need to convert 6 into ASCII form and we need to convert 8 into ASCII form. Means 6 should be converted into 36 and 8 should be converted into 38. No. So first we have taken 68 and we have copied 68 in A register. Now the value of A register is continuously changing. So that's why what we are doing, we are copying the value of 68 into R1 register. Now if the value of 68 will if it will change, we can copy from R1. Okay, now the 68 is there in R1 and the 68 is there in A register. So in the second step, see here, this is the second step. Move R1 comma A. In this second step, move R1 comma A. What is happening? Initially in A register there is 68H. Okay, that is our packed BCD number. Okay, that number we are copying into R1 register. Why? Because in the operations the value of A register is going on changing. Okay, so the actual packed BCD number should be saved in one register. So that's why we are saving that packed BCD number in R1 register. So after executing this instruction, move R1 comma A, the value of A will be 68 and the value of R1 will be also 68. Now, what we need to do? First step, what we need to do? First, we need to unpack the number. Means 68 is the number. From the 68, 6 should be separated and 8 should be separated. So how to unpack the number? First, let us separate 8. Okay, first let us take out 8 from 68. How to take out 8 from 68? See here. In this third step, ANL A comma 0FH. ANL A comma hash 0FH. So AND logic is applied between A register and 0FH. What does A register contains? A register contains packed BCD number, that is 68. From that 68, we need to separate 8. Okay, we need to separate 8. For that, we are writing this step. ANL A comma hash 05H. So AND logic is applied between A register, that is 68H, and 0FH. Means 6 is ANDed with 0 and 8 is ANDed with F. If 6 is ANDed with 0, what will happen? What is the result? The result will be 0. Means the higher nibble will be 0. And if 8 is ANDed with F, when any number, when it is ANDed with F, okay, what will happen? The same number will come. Okay, the 8 will come. So this 68 will become 08. When the 68 is ANDed with 0FH, that is 68H is ANDed with 0FH, what will be the result? The result is 08H. So remember that in AND logic, when any number is ANDed with 0, the answer will be 0. And when any number when ANDed with 1, okay, the same answer will be there. Okay, when the 8 is ANDed with F means all ones. What do you mean by F? F means all ones, 1 1 1 1. Okay, when this 8 is ANDed with F, that is all ones. So what will happen? Again the same 8 will come. Same 8 will come. So after completion of this instruction, what is the value of A register? The value of A register is 08H. The value of A register is 08H. So after completing this instruction, that is ANL A comma hash 0FH. The value of A register is 08H. Is it okay, all of you?
Yes, sir.
No. Let us move to the next instruction. Let us move to the next instruction. So we have unpacked the number. Okay, from the 68 we have taken out 8. Means one unpacked BCD we got. To that unpacked BCD, what is our next step? Our next step is to convert that unpacked BCD into ASCII form. Okay, we need to convert that unpacked BCD into ASCII form. Now we have unpacked the number, means we have taken out lower nibble 08 from the 68. Okay, that 08 should be unpacked. That is unpacked BCD number. Okay, that 08 should be converted into ASCII number. Okay, so in order to convert 08 into ASCII number, what we need to do? We need to add 30. Okay, if we add 30 to the 08, then it will become ASCII number. Okay, the ASCII number of 08 is 38. Okay, we need to add 30 to this. If we add 30 to the 08, it will become ASCII number. It will become 38. So see here, how to add that? How to add that? So the value of A after execution of this instruction, what is the value of A? That is ANL A comma 0FH. What is the value of A? The value of A is 8. The value of A is 8. Why? Because the 68 is ANDed with 0FH. If it is ANDed with 0FH, the value will be 8. Okay, the upper nibble will get 0. Why? Because it is ANDed with 0, and the lower nibble is ANDed with F. That's why the same digit it will come again. Okay, 8 will come again. So after execution of this instruction, the value of A will become 08H. Okay, so now let us move to the next instruction, ORL A comma hash 30H. So here in A register there is 08H value, that is the 08H and 30H. Okay, both are in between these two values, OR logic is applied. OR logic is applied. If we apply OR logic between any two numbers, those two numbers gets added. Those two numbers gets added. See here, in A register there is 8. Okay, so to that 8 we are adding 30H. Why? Because in order to have 38. Okay, the ASCII value of 8 is 38. In order to have the ASCII value, we need to add 30 to the number 8. Okay, so 8 is already there in register A. Okay, to that we are adding 30. So how to add 30? Just we are applying OR logic between A and 30. Okay, the value of A is 8. Okay, we are adding 30 to the 8. So it will become 38. Okay, if OR logic is applied in between any two numbers, what will happen? Those two numbers will get added. Okay, now 8 and 30 both gets added. So after completion of this, after execution of this instruction, what will be the value of A register? It is 38. Is it okay, all of you? Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Everybody have you understood?
Sir,
Yes.
in the place of ORL, why we didn't use add instruction, sir?
In place of ORL,
Add instruction.
add instruction. Add A comma 30. Yes, we can use. Both gets added. 30 and 8 gets added. So yes, we can use add instruction also. If you use ORL also, will both gets added. So here the aim of this instruction is to add these two values. That is the value of A and the value of A and 30 both gets added, and the result should be 38. Okay, so we can use add instruction also in place of ORL. No, let us. So the we have unpacked the BCD number. Okay, means we have taken out 8 and we have converted it to ASCII. Now we have to taken out 6 from 68 and we have to convert 6 into ASCII. Means the 6 should be converted into 68. The 6 should be changed as 68. So first we have to take out 6 from this. Okay, how to take out 6 from 68? Okay, now let us see. Let us see this instruction. Move R2 comma A. Move R2 comma A. So whatever the value is there. So in A register, what is the value now? After completion of ORL A comma hash 30H, what will be the value of A? The value of A will be 38. Okay, 38 is saved into R2 register. 38 is saved into R2 register. Means the ASCII value, the ASCII number of the second digit, that is 8. The ASCII number of 8 is 38. So it is stored in R2 register. Okay, why? Because the value of A will be going on changing. So after getting the result, we are storing the result in some register. So we are storing the result in R2 register. Now, what we need to do? Again, we need to continue our process of unpacking. Okay, we need to unpack 6 from 68. For that, what we need to do? Again, we need to load 68 in A register. So for that, we have used move A comma R1. Move A comma R1. Move A comma R1 means what is there in R1? In R1 there is 68. Okay, 68 will comes to the A register. That is, the value of A will become 68 now. Means again the packed BCD number will comes to the A register. Now, when it is ANDed with, when the packed BCD number 68 is ANDed with F0, when it is ANDed with F0, what will be the value? Okay, means 6 is ANDed with F and 8 is ANDed with 0. Okay, when any number which is ANDed with 0, the answer will be 0. Means in place of 8 it will become 0, and in place of 6, when 6 is ANDed with F, so the 6 will come as it is. Okay, so after completion of this instruction, the value of A register is 60. The value of A register is 60. So see this instruction, all of you. ANL A comma hash F0H means we are ANDing A register and F0. Okay, what is there in A register? In A register, there is unpacked BCD number is there. That is 68H is there. Okay, we are ANDing 68 with F0. Okay, so means 6 is ANDed with F and 8 is ANDed with 0. When 6 is ANDed with F, again we will get 6 only. And when 8 is ANDed with 0, we will get 0. Okay, so the answer or the result after this instruction is the value of A will be 60. The value of A will be 60. Okay, but what we need only 6. We don't need 60. We need 6. Why? Because we need to add 30 to that 6. If we add 30 to 60, the answer will change. We need to add 30 to 6. So in order to in order to get 6 from 60, what we are doing? We are swapping that. Swap A. What does the swap A instruction will do? Swap A instruction will swap the 2 digits. Means upper nibble and lower nibble both gets interchanged. Both gets interchanged. Okay. Swap A means so the value of A is 60 now. Swap A means the value of A will become 6. 06. 60 will become 06. If it becomes 06, then it will become unpacked BCD number. Okay, so we need 6 from 68. Okay, we doesn't need 60. Okay, so in order to get 6 from 68, first we are making it as 60, then we are swapping that number so that it will become 6. Okay, swap A will make 60 to 6. Now, what we need to do? We need to convert that 6 into ASCII number. In order to convert 6 into ASCII number, what we need to do? Just we need to add 30. Just we need to add 30. Okay. So we are using ORL A comma hash 30, or what she has tell earlier, we can use AND logic also. Sorry, add instruction also. Okay. So ORL A comma hash 30. So by using this instruction, what will happen? Both gets added. Both gets added. That is 6, that is 06 and 30 gets added. So the answer will be 36. Okay, 36. 36 is the second ASCII number. Okay, after that we are moving the result into R3. So that 36 is moved into R3. Why we are moving this 36 into R3? Why? Because A is an accumulator. It is having other words also. So that's why whatever the value is there in A register, it should be shifted to some safe place. Why? Because the value of A is continuously changing. Okay, so that's why the value whatever is there in A, we are shifting to R3 register. Okay, so the first ASCII number is there in R2 and the second ASCII number is there in R3. What is the first ASCII number? First ASCII number is 38. It is there in R2. And the second ASCII number is, what is the second ASCII number? 36. It is there in R3. Okay, so it is the end of the program. So is it okay, all of you? Everybody understood? Yes, everybody understood this program?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody, only one response I got. Why only one response? What about others? Everybody understood this program?
Yes, sir.
Everybody clear with packed BCD and unpacked BCD and ASCII numbers? So if you have clear idea about packed BCD, unpacked BCD and ASCII numbers, then this program will be easy for you. First, you need to understand what is packed BCD, what is unpacked BCD, and what is ASCII numbers. If you understand these three things, then this program will be easy for you. Everybody, is it okay? Yes. Why?
Yes,
Why?
sir.
Okay. So let us move to the next topic: conditional and unconditional jump instructions. Okay, till now we have seen logical instructions and rotate instructions. Okay, in the last category. In this category, let us see unconditional and conditional jump instructions. Okay, unconditional and conditional jump instructions. Okay, so jump instructions is also called as branch instructions. Jump instructions are also called as branch instructions. So what do you mean by conditional jump and unconditional jump? Let us see. Conditional jump instructions and unconditional jump instructions. So first let us see conditional jump instructions. Conditional jump instructions means the control of the processor. Okay, the control of the processor will jumps to some other program. The control of the processor will jumps to some other part of the program by leaving its normal sequence of execution, the control of the processor will jump to some other part of the program when the certain condition is true. Okay, when certain condition is true. It is called as conditional jump instructions. Okay, so before that, you should have a clear idea about the jump instructions. What is jump instructions, and it is also called as branch instructions. What is jump instructions and what are branch instructions? So jump instructions and branch instructions means, it means that suppose the processor is executing one program. Okay, processor is executing one program. Suppose the processor has executed first line, first instruction, it has executed second instruction, it has executed third instruction. So in the fourth instruction, a jump instruction has came. Jump instruction has came. If jump instruction gets, if jump instruction comes, what the processor has to do means, the processor has to jump its control. The processor has to jump to some other part of the program. Means it is executing fourth instruction. After execution of fourth instruction, it should go to fifth instruction. So instead of going to fifth instruction, the processor is jumping to some eighth or ninth instruction. Okay, the processor is jumping to some other part of the program. Okay, it is not the usual sequence of execution. Okay, the processor is jumping to some other part of the program. Okay, it is jumping to some other instruction. That instruction is not under the normal sequence of execution. Okay, suppose the processor is executing fourth instruction. In fourth instruction, jump instruction is there. So after, in normal sequence, if the processor is obeying the normal sequence, after fourth instruction, the processor has to execute fifth instruction. But when jump instruction will come, after fourth instruction, the processor will jump to some other instruction which may be very far. Okay, the instruction, if the program is large, if the instruction is at the place of some 25th or 26th, or it may be 8th, it may be 9th. Okay, but it is not in the normal flow of program. Okay, the processor is jumping to some other part of the program by leaving its normal sequence of execution. Okay, this is called jump instruction. This is called jump instructions or branch instructions. Yeah, this is called jump instructions or branch instructions. Is it okay, all of you? What is jump instructions or branch instructions? Yes. Reply me, ma. Is it okay or not? Have you understood it? Yes, rule number 20. Rule number 3. My voice is audible or not? Yes, all of you, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood this, what I have told you just now about jump instructions? Are you listening or not, ma? Rule number 3. Three, not listening.
Sir.
Have you
Sir.
understood this?
Yes, sir.
Then why you are not replying? Nobody is replying when I am asking. Rule number 20. 20, are you here?
Sir, 20 is listening, but she had some disturbance in her house, sir. That's why she is not unmuting her mic.
So at least one or two students, if you reply me, then I will continue. Nobody is replying me means what I have to understand, whether you have understood or not. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is about the jump instructions or branch instructions. So jump instructions or branch instructions are of two types. Okay, conditional jump instructions and unconditional jump instructions. Okay, conditional jump instructions means the jumping will be performed. The jumping of the processor to some other part of the program will be performed only after a particular condition is satisfied. Only after, if a particular condition is true, then only the jumping will be performed. Otherwise, the jumping will not be performed. The processor will continue its normal flow of execution. Okay, so it is conditional branch instructions or conditional jump instructions. Now let us see unconditional branch instructions or unconditional jump instructions. Unconditional branch instructions means the jumping will be performed. The processor jumping will be performed without verifying any condition. Okay, if unconditional jump instruction will come, the processor has to jump compulsorily. There will not be any condition. In conditional jump instructions, the jump will be performed only certain condition is true. Like jump if carry is 1. If carry is 1, then only the jumping should be performed. Otherwise, the normal flow of execution of instructions will be there. Okay, normal sequence of execution will be continued. If the condition is not true, in case of conditional instructions. Okay, if condition is true, if carry is 1, so there is one instruction jump if carry. Jump if carry means when carry is 1, then only the jump should be performed to some specified instruction. Otherwise, the jumping should not be performed. Okay, this is called as conditional jump instructions. When certain condition is true, then only the jumping will be performed. Unconditional jump means, so it will not verify any condition. Just it has to jump. Okay, just it has to jump to the address which is mentioned in the instruction. Okay, just the processor has to jump to the address which is mentioned in the instruction. So the condition will not be there in unconditional jump instructions. So jumping should be performed compulsorily in unconditional jump instructions. In conditional jump instructions, only if the condition is true, then only the jumping should be performed. Then only the processor has to jump to some specified condition in the instruction. Then only the processor has to jump to some specified address which is mentioned in the instruction. Is it okay, all of you? What is conditional and unconditional jump instructions?
Sir, explain once again, sir.
Okay, Seema, conditional and unconditional jump instructions means. So first, let us know what is jump instructions. Jump instructions means, suppose there is a program. Okay, in that program there are some 10 instructions. So the processor is the processor has executed first instruction. It has executed second instruction, and when it is executing third instruction, the third instruction is a jump instruction. If jump instruction will come, so what will happen means, so after third instruction, the processor has to execute the fourth instruction. So instead of executing fourth instruction, after third instruction, the processor will jump to some 8th instruction or 9th instruction. Okay, which is whose address is mentioned in the instruction. To that instruction, it will jump. Okay, so it is called as jump instruction. Means the processor will leave its normal flow of execution and it will jump to some other part of the program by leaving its normal flow of execution. Okay, it is jumping to some other part of the program. So it is called as jump instructions. When jump instruction will come, the processor will jump to some other part of the program. Okay, when jump instruction will come, means normally when the processor is executing the third instruction, after third instruction it should execute fourth instruction. But if jump instruction will come after third instruction, the processor should have to jump to some other part of the program. Means after third instruction it has to jump to some seventh instruction or to some eighth instruction or to some ninth instruction. So after jumping there, it should execute that instruction, and after executing that instruction, again it should come back to its normal sequence of execution. Okay, it is called as jump instruction. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Now, what is conditional and unconditional jump? Conditional means the jump will only be performed when a particular condition is true. Okay, so before jumping, the processor will verify the condition. If that condition is true, then only it will jump. For example, jump if carry. Jump if carry is, will be one instruction. Means when carry flag value is 1, then only it has to jump. If the carry flag value is 0, means no need to jump. It should it will continue its normal sequence of execution. Suppose the third instruction is jump instruction. So in that, jump if carry is there. Okay, if carry value is 0, okay, so jumping will not be performed. The processor control moves to some fourth instruction. Okay, the processor control will move to fourth instruction. Means the normal sequence of execution will continue if the condition is false. If condition is true, then the jumping will be performed. So that is conditional jump instruction. Unconditional means there will not be any condition. When that jump instruction will come, the processor has to compulsorily, it has to jump to that particular instruction whose address is mentioned in the instruction. Is it okay? Is it okay, ma'am? Rule number 3, have you understood? Rule number 3, have you understood? Everybody, is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, do you have any doubts in today's class? If you have any doubts, you can ask them. Yes, anybody
Sir, we
have
want recorded videos for programs, sir. Program explanations.
program explanations? Huh? Means what the class I am telling this video, if I send it is okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I will send you this video. Anyhow, the recording will be there of this video.
We want all programs videos, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you all of you. You can leave the class.